Hey, beautiful. Welcome to the Not Another Mom podcast. It's time to take that mom hat off because this is after hours and I'm making you off the clock. This podcast is here to help you know your worth because damn girl, you're a goddess who deserves to live the life of your dreams. I'm your host, Lesley Sprague, and we talk everything from manifesting to motherhood. Yes, those little monkeys will still creep in here or there. Spirituality to girl talk with your besties, and from business to finding that balance in life. I'm here to remind you that you are worth it. Life gets to be easy for you, and your dreams really can come true. So grab your favorite glass of wine, craft beer, or if you're a whiskey and diet kind of girl, grab that and let's get this show on the road. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Not Just Another Mom podcast. I am your host, Lesley, and as always, I am so grateful that you are here with me. Okay. After some intense negotiations, I have the privilege of having a special guest on the podcast today. The negotiations were very brutal. We had to decipher if there were going to be snacks while we recorded the podcast. And then we also had a very strict timeline because apparently recording a podcast didn't fit into her busy schedule on March break. So welcome to the podcast, Reagan, my daughter. You can say hi.
Hi.
And you haven't been on the podcast in like a few years. I think you were on during COVID when we were home, or maybe it was the first March break, but it's been a while since you've been on here. And I want to bring you on because recently you have been doing some visualizations of your own, and she did not seek her mother's counsel. She found somebody on YouTube that specifically looked at visualizations for her hockey. And I just wanted to talk to you a bit about that because I think it's been pretty powerful for you. So do you want to tell everybody what you've been doing for your visualizations and your pre-game prep?
He said on the video that you pick 5 things that you need to work on in your game, and then you visualize them until you get good at those things, and then you pick 5 more things, and every game when we are driving in the car before we turn on my hockey pump up, I take 5 or 10 minutes to visualize those things.
And what did you notice? Because we only did this towards the end of the season. And what did you notice when you did those?
I started doing those things a little bit better, and they still need work, but it helped a lot, and it just made me very enthusiastic.
Nice. Okay. So, and I actually recall that you visualized one of the things you were visualizing was getting rebounds on the goalie and then popping those rebounds in and shooting in the net. And you said to me that very next day, I think it was, that the goal that you got during that game was exactly how you saw it in your visualizations.
Yeah, I visualized it on the bench, that exact way, the exact same position. the exact same way, and I visualized it, and then I went out there and I did it.
So, what can you say to everybody listening who maybe hasn't done visualizations before? What do you think? Like, do you find them helpful?
Yes.
Yeah. Is there anything else? Like, if somebody's unsure of whether or not they should try a visualization, should they test it out, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what was the best technique for you? Was having sort of a guided visualization, like some sort of structure on how you wanted to like create your visualization? Because essentially you picked your own 5 things, you created your own visualization.
Yeah, but I didn't just visualize like one situation of it. Like I visualized multiple. Like one was rebounding, like scoring. I would visualize like getting a breakaway and getting the rebounds and like in many different ways.
Yeah, that's awesome because the universe can bring it to you in many different ways. That's I think a very important factor is to realize that just if you keep visualizing it a certain way doesn't mean the universe is going to deliver it that way. So being open to those different possibilities. Can you see how visualizing and that can help you in other areas of your life? Oh, you never really thought about that before, have you? You should have seen her face. She was like, oh God. You hadn't really thought about that before, have you?
No.
So when you're like getting ready for a test or maybe the upcoming tryouts that you're going to have in a month and a half.
Well, this isn't exactly like visualizing, but like I in the morning sometimes I write down how I want my day to go, but that's more manifest.
Yeah, but that's also like you're calling in how you want your day to go. It's powerful stuff. And like, how many times do we talk at home that like it all starts with your mindset?
A lot.
A lot. And we had this experience just yesterday with Reagan's brother. I tried to get Deacon on the podcast as well, but he was not interested. So we will stay tuned for getting him on the podcast. But he gets very easily, he gets down on himself, and we need to work on strengthening his belief within himself. I think he's still a little bit young yet to understand it at the level that you have just experienced. But yeah, I'm excited to work on this with him too. So, is there anything else you want to add? No, you're good. You're good.
I don't know.
She doesn't know what to say, and that's okay. That's the beauty of this podcast, Reagan, is like you can kind of say whatever you're thinking, because the random squirrels that run around in my brain, like they often come out in the podcast, and it just gets to be fun and beautiful because of what we're chatting about. All right, folks. So this is an 11-year-old's take on visualizations and how it can drastically improve your performance if you are an athlete or when you are working on manifesting and calling in anything you want in your dream life. So, if you are looking for some visualizations to test out on your own, I have some visualizations on my website that you can check out. And if you really loved this episode, let me know. Send me a DM on Instagram or share it in your stories. And I think we have to cut this to an end because Miss Busy Pants over here has a very tight schedule, and I am very grateful that we were able to fit you in for this very intense episode. But thank you so much for coming on, and we will have you back when we can dive into this world a little bit deeper. You want to say bye to everybody?
Bye.
We will see you again next week. Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, will you do me a favor and help spread the love? Go ahead and leave a 5-star review and share this episode on your Insta stories. If we aren't yet connected on Instagram, come follow me at Lesley & Co XO. And since everybody spells my name wrong, that's Lesley and Co XO. And leave me a line and say hi. Have an amazing day, beautiful, and we'll catch you next week.